Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Tom LaHue. We're going to be looking at the 9 different Enneagram types and how they express and receive love, or what they may be looking for in a relationship. Now, this can't be an exhaustive list, but it does get the conversation started, and it starts the discussion on this topic. As a reminder, in the description below is a link to my website, tomlahue.com. I do offer an Enneagram coaching program called Present to Life. If you're feeling stuck or gotten in a rut, or you're kind of shaking yourself off this year saying, what am I doing? What job do I really want to do with my life? My relationships aren't working well. I feel like, we're working harder and harder, but we're not connected emotionally anymore. Check out my program. I'd love to walk you through this information and help you, come alongside of you. Also, I offer a lot of different courses on Enneagram and relationships and everything I can think of to try to improve your life and help you. All right, so let's jump into this topic today. I love relationships and I love helping people have better relationships. I'm not a magician. I can't just wave a magic wand and make people get along. I wish I could. I wish I could just, solve everybody's problems, and I can't. But the Enneagram is a great tool to help us know more about ourselves and maybe see our blind spots and to be more compassionate with ourselves, to catch ourselves, sometimes in our impulses or compulsions, doing things that aren't necessarily working to give us our best life or help us to really reach our stated goals in life. And it also is a great tool to help us have more compassion with each other. The fact that you know what your Enneagram type is should change your life. And the fact that you know what your spouse's or your girlfriend's or your partner's Enneagram type is, that should change the way you relate to them. If you know that your partner's a 5 and not a 2, for example, then that should affect the way you interact with them. That knowledge should mean something to you, and it should change the way you interact with people as you understand their Enneagram type. It's showing you what they need from you. You say, what do you mean by that? Well, let's go down the list. Let's go down the list and let's look at the 9 different types and talk about some of the things that these types might be looking for in a relationship and how they might express their love. So if you're in a relationship with a type 8 or a type 1, they may express their love to you in ways that aren't making sense to you. And we want to talk about this and try to understand it better. So let's jump into this information. And like I said, I do have a course on Enneagram and relationship coaching. It's live on Zoom, but I also have it recorded, pre-recorded on demand on my website. So let's start with type 1, the perfectionist, the reformer, the mentor, the advocate, the teacher, the idealist. There's so many different names for type 1. And let's just talk about, first of all, how they express love. And I'm going to be looking at my notes here, and it says, type 1s express love through acts of service and striving to improve their partner's life. And there could be lots of ways they strive to improve their life: by correcting them, which may not feel always very comfortable, or by criticizing them, which may feel even worse, or by just making everything better, making the house better, rearranging, cleaning, painting, perfecting the home, those kinds of things. They show their love by helping to solve problems and offering constructive advice. So through acts of service and through constructive advice. I would say it like this. I could summarize maybe what I'm trying to say here with the words domestic support. Ones tend to offer a lot of domestic support around the house, helping make sure the insurance forms are filled out, that vacation plans are made, that retirement accounts are fully funded. All of those things that make you feel like your home is a castle. Just taking care of all these responsibilities. Now, it may be very true that type 1s might want you to be involved in that domestic support as well. Although they may not really need anybody else coming alongside of them doing these chores, it may be hard for them to feel loved and cared for if you're avoiding helping around the house. So if you wanted that one to feel loved and cared for and valued, you may have to join them in the work around the home and not be a lazy person. In other words, when it's Saturday and they're out in the yard cleaning up, you might have to go out there in the yard and do this act of service with them. Certainly appreciate them and offer them some admiration, thanking them for their service, thanking them for their work, how much you appreciate them, how they always make things better. They receive love by recognition and recognizing and appreciating their effort and their integrity. They feel loved when their partner acknowledges their hard work and their dedication. So you might say one of the things they need is to not be criticized, although, again, they are often the most critical person on the Enneagram. The never ever behavior for a 1 is never criticize a 1. And acknowledge or offer admiration. Another word is appreciation, validation for their help, their service, and their good nature. All right, type 2s. Type 2s are the relationship masters, the Queen of Hearts or the King of Hearts, and often called the helper, the befriender, the connector. And they express love by being attentive, caring, and going out of their way to meet their partner's needs. Now, that is like the most obvious, probably the most easy to see. When you think about expressing love, 2s probably come to this more naturally than any of the rest of us, because you think of people expressing love by being attentive to you. Hey, how are you doing? Being caring, going out of their way, remembering your birthday, remembering your special days, remembering that you're going away on vacation, then asking you questions about it, remembering your kids' names. They often express love through acts of kindness and nurturing. And there's a lot of types like 7s, for example, and maybe some 9s that require a lot of nurturing. So it's easy to see how a 7 like me was very attracted to a 2 like my wife because of that attentive, nurturing, caregiving aspect that is just lures you in. It just pulls you in. And 2s, you guys are the ones that just pull people in toward yourself. And sometimes people will think you're flirting with them when you're just being you. You're just being nice. They receive love and they feel most loved when their acts of services are appreciated and reciprocated. Now, they won't necessarily ask you to come right out and to be thoughtful of them, but the implication is if they're being nice and kind and thoughtful to you, then they're showing you what their expectations are in this relationship. And they want you to reciprocate this kindness, this love and attention. And that's the whole thing about that childhood wound of a 2, feeling like they're unlovable unless they're serving and giving and helping, because their sin is pride, and they want to feel valuable to you. They are a worth and value type, and you need to communicate that worth and value to them. They will feel most loved. And remember, 2s, you struggle with this, with feeling loved and feeling wanted. It's your greatest fear, but you can help 2s alleviate some of that fear by reminding them how much you do love and care for them in the little ways you think of them and how appreciative you are of their kindness and their attention. 2s breathe appreciation, so appreciate them every chance you can. Thank them for their thoughtfulness. Thank them for taking care of this problem or solving this issue, or thank them for their service, their work, their kindness. 2s, they crave attention and acknowledgement, and they want to feel important in their partner's life. They want to feel like they're connected, like they are first in your life. And you can help them minimize some of the damage by trying to communicate that to them often. All right, type 3s, the achiever, the performer, expresses love through encouragement and support of their partner's goals and successes. In other words, they give a lot of admiration. They often show their love by being a cheerleader for their partner. And who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want somebody in your corner giving you admiration, telling you did a great job? Of course, everybody loves that. Appreciates admiration and affirmation themselves, and feels loved when their achievements and successes are celebrated and when their partner shows interest in their goals. So there's probably a lot of conversational companion here that I need to listen to you, and I need to connect with you, I need to support you, I need to believe in you, and I need to give a lot of admiration to you. I remember one time coaching an 8 who was married to a 3, and he was withholding admiration because he felt like that was a weakness. Like, you shouldn't need admiration from other people. Just do what you want to do because you want to do it. Why do you need all this applause? And I tried to help him see that you guys are different. An 8 doesn't need the admiration as much as a 3. And one of the ways that you can really help your wife feel loved is by giving her that admiration. You certainly don't want her to look to someone else to start getting that admiration. We're all broken. Every type is broken. We don't live in the Garden of Eden, and every one of us has our struggles, and you can help alleviate the pain of that struggle by knowing this kind of information. If you have a 3 in your life, just think of them as somebody who needs support, admiration. They need to know that you believe in them. They need to know that you're a cheerleader for them. And you can become very important to them and help them feel loved and cared for by giving that admiration, appreciation, and validation to them. Okay, type 4, the individualist, the dreamer, the individualist, the romantic, the dramatist. Expresses love by creating emotional intimacy. Intimacy is that connection. And they long for that, as all of us should. They long for that emotional intimacy and that depth of relationship. They don't just want to stay on the surface. They're often expressive and seek unique ways to show their affection. Seek unique ways. Maybe through gifts, or maybe through acts of service, or maybe through something done for you in a creative way. Receives love and needs to be understood and seen for who they truly are. They don't want to be minimized and diminished. They want to be seen, understood, and valued for who they are. They want to feel like you're understanding them, feel like you're connecting with them. They feel loved when their partner validates their emotions and appreciates their uniqueness or their unique design or their unique efforts. So validation, what is validation? Validation is similar to appreciation and admiration, where admiration says, you did a great job. We're all very proud of the effort and the work and what you accomplished. Appreciation says, thank you so much. I couldn't have made it without you. You made my life better and easier, and I appreciate all that you've done for me. And then validation says to someone, wow, I can't believe that this person did this to you. That's awful. They shouldn't have treated you that way. Wow, I can't imagine how hard and difficult this must be for you. So when a person is telling you their story, and remember the speaking style of a 4 is lamentations. When the 4 is lamenting the difficulties, the challenges, the struggles in their life, if you wanted to just blow them off and minimize them, you'd say, well, I think what your problem is here is, see, you went wrong, and that would minimize and diminish their struggle. Validation is when you say, wow, I can't even imagine how difficult this must be for you. I can't imagine how hard this has been for you. I really admire your ability to just continue on and press through and keep going. That's validation. And 4s often need a lot of validation. Often, sometimes 6s. We all need validation at times when we feel like life has been difficult to us or we've been misunderstood. 6s a lot of times need validation. All right, so let's move on to type 5. Type 5, the investigator or the observer. Type 5s express their love through sharing information, through sharing their knowledge, through spending quality time together, often in quiet settings. There doesn't need to be a lot of chatter. Remember, 5s tend to be the most sensitive to sound, the most sensitive to feeling like they're being engulfed or overtaken by another person. So they want to maintain that distance. And that may be even while we're sitting in the same room. As long as we're together, we don't necessarily need to be doing a lot of conversation. They show love by opening up their inner world to their partner. Because, 5s, they tend to live sort of like a submarine under the surface with their periscope, always observing what is going on above the surface. But sometimes it can get really hard. It can be really hard to get a 5 to open up to you. They may open up to you about information or something they're interested in, but to really crack and open up that inner world, they can be very guarded people. Like sometimes 8s can be very guarded. Sometimes even 2s can be very guarded. And so when they start to open up that inner world with you and share that with you, that's one of the ways that they become vulnerable and express their connection with you. They appreciate having their space respected and enjoy it when their partner engages with them intellectually. So when you have a conversation with a 5 or with anybody, you might ask yourself, how does this person need me to show up in this conversation in order that they have a pleasant experience? And sometimes with 5s, they may want a debating partner, or they may just want, a student to listen to all of their instruction. And you don't have to always fill that role, but if you want them to feel loved and cared for, sometimes you have to just show up saying, wow, I didn't know that. That's an interesting fact. Tell me more about that. why is that the case, or why do you think it happened that way? And let the professor lecture on. They will feel loved, they will feel valued, they will feel like their information is appreciated, and then respect their space, recognizing that they're not a 2, they're not a 9, they need their space, they need to recover, they need their batteries recharged. And if you can give them that space, and remember there's this old saying that for a 5, when they tell you that they love you and that they want to marry you, they've essentially said that they love you so much that you are worth the pain that being open in a relationship will cause them. Not the way most of us think about relationships, but it is helpful to understand that. All right, type 6, the loyalist, or the loyal skeptic. Type 6s express their love by being supportive, by being protective. 2, 6, and 8 are all in the protective group. By being protective, they show their love through reliability, commitment, concern, problem solving, being responsible, taking care of things, by warning you and guiding you, by protecting you. So the loyalist, the trooper, they feel loved when they feel secure and when their partner demonstrates loyalty and commitment to them. They show loyalty because they want loyalty back from you. So conversational companion, very important. Admiration can be very important for a 6, thanking them and letting them know exactly how you feel. Honesty is so important that it probably isn't even on their list, because they can't imagine being in a relationship where somebody isn't being honest or open with them. And then be careful about criticizing or looking disappointed or being disappointed with a 6. They very much fear disappointing you. And like a 1, if they're criticized or they get the sense that you're disappointed with them, they may turn on you. And so you want to communicate to them that you are their biggest fan, you are a supporter, you give admiration, and then try to correct your problems once they feel secure in the relationship. And 6s with a 7 wing, 8s with a 7 wing, probably recreational companion might be very high on their list. They may really like going and doing things with you. And 6s, it's very important that you stay with them and don't move away from them or get ahead of them, that you stay connected with them geographically and physically. All right, type 7s, the enthusiast, the Epicurean, expresses love through shared experiences and adventures, through let's go do this fun thing together. So a lot of recreation companion, a lot of let's go do fun things together, let's laugh, let's play, let's enjoy life, let's go on an adventure, let's take a road trip. Let's go see a site somewhere we've never been before. Let's go to a comedy club. They often show affection by including their partner in the activities and planning exciting events. Realize sometimes when a 7 looks at a partner, they're kind of thinking like, I want a travel companion, I want a travel buddy, I need an audience to laugh at all my hilarious stuff. I want somebody that won't bring me down, that will help me stay up and keep things moving and exciting. And so 7s, honestly, they kind of are looking for somebody who will go do with them the adventures that they want to do by themselves anyway. So they're looking for somebody who will join them and go out into life and do some fun, exciting things. Now, they may need somebody who will slow them down, help them process their feelings, like a nice 4 or a 2 or a 9, somebody that will help slow them down and help them be more present to life. But this is what they would like, and this is what they would need in order to feel loved, and not somebody who's very negative. They want to be positive themselves, and they can be exhausted by being around negativity. They receive love. They appreciate spontaneity and enthusiasm and people who will go along with them. They feel loved when their need for variety and adventure is understood and embraced, and not shamed. Like, oh my gosh, you're never satisfied. Oh my goodness, when is enough enough? Now that may be true, and they may need to hear that sometimes, but they're going to feel loved when somebody's willing to go along with all of their excitement and understand their need for adventure, their need for exciting stimulation. I think 7s are probably going to be high with a need for sexual fulfillment. They're going to be high with a need for a recreational companion, for conversational companion, and all those kinds of things. All right, type 8, the challenger. Okay, they express love by showing their strength and their protection. And to love somebody is to protect them. They are often straightforward in their affection, demonstrative in their affection, and may express love through acts of loyalty and defending their partner. They receive love by appreciating honesty and directness. They're not going to like somebody that beats around the bush and doesn't really come out with what they want and hints around, is passive aggressive. That's going to probably drive an 8 nuts. and they're gonna feel like I'm gonna support that. I'm not gonna help you in your weakness. If you want something, you need to own your voice, own your space, and ask for it directly. They feel loved when their partner is straightforward and when their independence and strength are respected. So they're going to appreciate honesty. They're going to appreciate openness. They probably, especially in 8 Wing 7, are going to lean toward recreational companion. Let's do fun things together. They're going to need somebody who is able to banter with them without being hurt and offended all the time, or just, shaming them because of their crudeness or their vulgarity or their extreme positions on things. They need somebody who's able to hold up the straw man and have a little sparring match, and then after that's over, to not be all offended and hurt, but can then, reunite and connect once again. And type 9, the peacemaker, expresses love through harmony and peacemaking. Who doesn't love that? They show their love by avoiding conflict and ensuring that their partner is comfortable and content. So it's a little bit like, if you're okay, I'm okay. If you're happy, I'm happy. So if the 9 is in a relationship with you and you're distressed, then they become distressed. If you're content and happy, then they often are very content and happy. So they receive love needing to feel accepted and at peace, not being criticized, not feeling like there's a problem all the time. They feel loved when their presence is valued and their opinions are sought after and respected. They have this assumption that everybody ought to be heard, that everybody ought to be listened to, everybody ought to feel valued and have a seat at the table. And so they need that back from you. They need you to communicate a message to them that you're not going to talk over them, but you're going to be a conversational companion to them, that you're going to value their opinion, that they have the right to speak, they have the right to have an opinion and to express that opinion, and you're going to try to understand them, and you're not going to try to push them or persuade them without taking their feelings into consideration. And is patient with them. They need somebody to be patient with them because they don't always know exactly what they want to do. They're not always sure exactly how they feel about a position, and they need somebody who isn't pushing them all the time and making life difficult for them. Somebody that's patient and long-suffering and understanding, and somebody who maybe provides a little bit of guidance for them and helps them find their own unique path. All right, so these are some ways that I think each type likes to be loved, expresses their love, feels loved and valued, affection, conversational companion, honesty and openness, family commitment, financial stability, sexual fulfillment, recreational companion, admiration, physical attractiveness, and what's the last one? Domestic support. All of these things, 10 ways from Dr. Willard Harley's His Needs, Her Needs, ways in which we express love to one another, their needs that we have, and every type sort of bends a little bit different and has a different sort of set of needs. And realize that all of this is in general speaking. You are a unique individual, and I can't prescribe for you what you need in order to feel loved. But I want you to be thinking about this. I want you to be investigating this. I want you to be talking about this with your spouse or with your partner to try to understand and communicate what you need from this relationship. If you're not in a relationship that's doing very well, you're not feeling loved and cared for, it's very hard for you to then demonstrate love and care. You feel disconnected, you feel disengaged, your relationship is starting to wither and dry up, and I want to help you. I want to help you have a better, healthier relationship. When we meet each other's needs, when we know each other's needs, we're able to foster a kind of relationship where people feel loved, valued, and cared for. And people that feel loved find it much easier to express love. And that's what it's all about, loving each other, loving God, loving each other, loving people. And that's what this journey is all about. And I want to help you have the best relationship you can. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Thank you for watching this video. I know I was talking fast. I got a lot of information. Love you guys. Take care. And as always, be present to life. I'll see you next time.